Hello everybody, I'm Sarah from the Baby Wearing Academy and I'm here to talk to you about why the Wildbird Aerial Carrier does not fit a newborn. Wildbird aren't alone in saying that their carrier fits a newborn when it doesn't. Lots and lots of carrier companies do it, and unfortunately it's a mix-up between it stems from the safety testing that's done on carriers. When a carrier says from £7, what they actually mean is that they sent their carrier to the lab to have it safety tested. What they do in the lab is they load it onto a machine. It's not the only thing they do, but where the weight limits, the so-called weight limits on a sling comes from, is the lab load it onto a machine and the machine pulls, and it pulls with £7 worth of force, or 3.5 kilos of force, and then it pulls with 35 pounds or sort of 20 kilos worth of force. And if the carrier does not tear or break, it's considered to have passed. And then what happens is the carrier companies then go, great, £7 to £35 from newborn. What this doesn't take into account is the fit of a carrier. And what you'll often find is some carriers will state on their packaging £7 to £35, and then somewhere in the small print you'll find used for babies from 4 months, for example. But those companies are few and far between. Usually what happens is they slap £7 to £35 on the box and they're done with it. And it really bugs me. I don't know if you can tell. It really bugs me. This is Robin. Robin is my newborn size demo doll. And this is what you won't see in a lot of carriers' promotional materials and the images that they put on social media. Well, I would hope that you wouldn't see this, because this is a bad fit. Robin has got their knee comfortably bent over this side of the carrier, but not over this side. On this side, sorry, Robin, I've caught your arm. Let's put your arm up here where you're going to want it. There you go, that's better. On this side, the carrier is wider than Robin's knee, and so it's pushing their leg straight out. That is not going to be comfortable. Robin, it does not have a wide enough seat on themselves, does not have a wide enough base, long enough legs to be able to comfortably bend their knees over both sides of the carrier. This is the other issue. Robin has sunk way too low in this carrier. This body panel is too tall. This is a hazard to Robin's airways. What it does is it pushes their head against my body. So if their airways are obstructed, they cannot move to free them. This is an airway hazard. It also means I can't monitor Robin as well as I would like to, because it's harder to see them, because this creates this dark patch and it's just harder for me to be able to see them. Ideally, I would like Robin to be there. That is much better. All I've done is put my fist under there. So if the Wildbird Carrier included a small cushion, for example, or just went a little bit narrower and had some adjustments for the body panel, for the height of the body panel, but just putting my fist in under there has lifted Robin out of the bottom of the carrier. It means that the carrier just comes to the nape of Robin's neck. That means that if Robin's airways are compromised, they can fling their head backwards, turn around and face in the other direction. They are not pushed against my body. It also makes it much easier to be able to monitor Robin's airways, because I can look down and see their face. Having my fist under their bottom also means they're not having to bend their knees over the edge of the carrier, because they're bending their knees over my fist, which is why some carrier companies have a cushion that goes in under the baby's bottom until the baby's big enough to sit in the carrier with their knees comfortably bent over the sides. Let's put you back down in the bottom, Robin. Thank you. But yeah, so it's too wide here and it's too tall here. So unfortunately, no, this the Wildbird Carrier is not going to fit a 7-pound baby. It's likely to fit as your baby starts to grow and excuse me, as your baby starts to uncurl from that newborn scrunch that they've generally got. You'll find you'll get a much better fit in something like this. So often from around 2 to 3 months. For some babies it will take longer. Some babies take a little bit longer to uncurl or grow. This is Sydney. Sydney is my slightly bigger newborn demo doll. And I just about get a fit with Sydney. I would prefer Sydney to be a tad taller, but Sydney has a freakishly short torso, and isn't a tad taller, but also, you know, is made of plastic and sand and doesn't have any airways. I have another video about how to use this carrier, how to put it on. So I'll link that in the description box down below. So don't try and use this as a how-to guide. But you can see that this is better for Sydney. So Sydney can comfortably bend their knees over both sides of the carrier, and that doesn't really come any higher than Sydney's earlobe. You know, if I pull it up and, you know, I can make Sydney disappear down into there. And this is what I'm saying. I would like Sydney to be a tad taller. But if this was my only option for a baby of this age, I can make it fit. I can sort of roll that. There you go. That I'm happy with. I can monitor Sydney's airways. Nice and high, nice and tight and visible. So that's just about a reasonable fit. Like I say, if Sydney actually had airways and was a real child, then I would like them to be a tiny bit taller. But if this were my only option, I could make that work. But yeah, unfortunately, Wildbird, newborn, no. From sort of 2 to 3 months, or once your baby has long enough legs that they can comfortably bend their knees over both sides of the carrier, and they're tall enough that it only sits in the nape of their neck or the bottom of their earlobe, then you've got a decent fit. And as long as you're wearing them nice and high, nice and tight, and they are nice and visible, you're good to go. Check out my other videos on how to actually put the carrier on, how to use it. And if you've got any questions, stick them in the comment section down below. Thanks a lot. I'll see you soon. Bye.